Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am back, guys, after a short break for the past couple of weeks. And here we are. We are on our sixth session. Go figure, yeah? And I never thought that I'll be arriving on my sixth session. So, welcome back, everyone. I hope that you guys had some really cool weekends. I know I did. Now, as usual, I just wanted to keep an update for everyone's benefit. I just wanted to update everyone on a masterclass that I am going to uh, run, which is on the 18th and 19th of April 2022. So this masterclass will be held at the Four Point Chinatown, Kuala Lumpur. All right, so this masterclass will be on the 18th and 19th April, so you may choose one or both days. I would suggest you take it up for both days because it makes sense. The first workshop will be on how to master your job search strategy. So there will be a lot of things to pack with informative discussion, resources, activities, which is really useful for you if you are back on the job market or thinking about going back into the job market and all that. Few key things that you'll be learning in this first workshop will be on how to connect with hiring managers and as well as recruiters. So this is one of the things that a lot of people have come to me and say, honey, how do I get hold of hiring managers or recruiters? How do I connect with them? How do I network with them? How do I make sure that they recognize me or want to talk to me or something like that? Yeah. So that would be one topic. And another topic that I'll be sharing or running on this particular session would be doing your personal SWOT analysis. So many of us have done maybe one angle or another, which is on SWOT analysis, but not many have run your personal SWOT analysis. This is very important because we'll be talking about your superpowers, right? So you are bringing the best of you to interview sessions. You're bringing the best of you into the conversation. Yeah, and of course, last but not least, one of the other main topics that I'll be teaching you the tips and tricks on how to do market mapping. Okay, so market mapping is very important because the world is huge. The job market is very huge. The question is, how do I identify the kind of space that I'm going in? What if I want to pivot from one role to another? What if I want to shift from the current business that I'm in into another space? Yeah, from transportation to education. I'm just giving an example, but I've seen quite a bit of those folks who are transitioning, who want to transit from technical roles to non-technical roles. Hello, Zilla. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for dropping by. I know you'll be in today. Do ask questions. I know you usually have a lot of questions. Okay, guys. So, um, ask questions anyway. Yeah. Now, that will be now coming back to the workshop. That will be mastering job search strategy, which is in on the 18th of April. And on the 19th of April, I'll be bringing another masterclass. It's called Mastering Tools and Skills to Win in Your Job Search. So this is um, this particular workshop is hot, guys. So I encourage you to sign up early. Some of the things that we're going to run on the 19th will be on salary negotiation. Many people fail in the salary negotiation. So Honey will share with you the tips and the tricks on how to master salary negotiation. This is so important. So important. What would you be benefiting from your new role? What are you bringing to the table? These are some of some of the discussion we'll be having. There'll be role plays on how to negotiate for your packages, right? And what else? I'm going to also teach you on how to win in interview, right? So interview preparation. I am known among the market that I prepare my coaches well for interview preparation. It is another job, guys. So I do take interview preparation seriously. So come and join me on the 18th and 19th to learn your job search strategies, recognize your strength, bring the best of you, and as well as on how to network. We're going to boost up your LinkedIn, we're going to optimize your resume or your CV, and last but not least, network is your network, guys. So 18th and 19th April, all right, it'll be held at the Four Points Chinatown, full day for those of you who are fasting. I've already discussed with the hotel. You guys can join the buffet. For those who are fasting on that day, you can join in the beautiful breaking fast buffet at the hotel on the 2 days. All right. So I hope to see all of you. Since running out very fast, uh, DM me or check out my two previous posts on where to register for this particular two master classes. Okay, so I have Rizal here. Thank you, Rizal. Good to see you. Hey, we haven't gone out for our coffee yet. Okay, so he is asking two questions. What industry is doing a lot of hiring these days, and for what particular role? Okay, good one. What industry is currently doing a lot of hiring? Okay, so good. Rizal, I will be very happy to answer that for you just right after this. Um, Now, the next update or the sharing that I wanted to share with you is this, and I think this might be quite quite an interest for those of you who are looking out for collaboration and partnership. So what happened was yesterday I was presiding the family cooperative AGM, and we had all of the registered members to come in and join the AGM, and it was kind of nervous. I was kind of nervous along with the council members simply because we needed two-thirds of the members to come in and approve the proposal to change several things, including contents in the bylaws. So, being the president for the past couple of years, yesterday was one of, I would say, one of the times that I feel kind of pressured. I would say a bit stressed, simply because we were going to propose huge changes to the bylaws, and with the change of bylaws there will be hopefully some interesting activities that we can bring in back into the family co-op. So it's just a small family co-op, but it's very, very important, I suppose, for us as a family unit to be able to help our members to increase their economic situation. Yeah. So here is my value proposition, guys. We are not so young family cooperative. We have quite a bit of family members who are on the lookout to collaborate. Most of them would be very interested in any type of business, retail, trading, and education, things like that. So for those of you who are interested to have a talk with the family co-op, i.e. me and my council, and within that capacity, we would be happy to hear out your pitch and see where we can come in together and help, the community to benefit in this particular economy. So there you go. If any of you who might be interested, if you have products or services, anything like that, drop me a DM. Maybe we can arrange for a quick chat over Zoom. And all right, so that's my second update in regards to what happened for the past couple of days. Now going back to my main session today, which is ask me anything. Okay. I received a few questions in the last few days, and all of these questions are mostly targeted towards interview preparation, interview questions, stuff like that. And so these are all interesting questions. I may not have a very specific answer to your questions. However, I'll try to do justice to all of this. Okay, so perhaps I would want to address question number one, which was asked by a young lady by the name of, let us call her Miss F. Right, so question by Miss F. He was asking, all right, so when one of the preliminary interview question is asking for your social media handles. Okay. So this is not new. Some organizations would want to ask for your social media handles. So what is your LinkedIn? Okay, so that's all right. It's a professional platform that you would be able to share. In fact, I highly encourage you to include your LinkedIn profile or LinkedIn link profile into your resume or your CV or in your application form, because that's good practice where they can, prospective hiring managers or prospective employers may be able to see what have you been up to, your authenticity, right? That you actually exist in the job market and all that. So I highly encourage you to do that. However, right, so other type of social media handles, for example, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Okay, so the hot thing nowadays is TikTok, right? And what else? Blog, for example. So you got to be careful whenever you're being asked these social media handles. Now, unless that you are very sure that you won't get into trouble for last night's activities, for example, over the weekend that you did something that you do not want your mom to see. Okay, share your LinkedIn profile only, and unless also, of course, if you're in the creative industry where you have your blog, where you have your YouTube, where you talk about topics that is that's in your heart, that calls out for your name, that you're passionate about. Your portfolio, for example, your design portfolios and all that. If you are in Instagram, usually, where you showcase your creative work, that's okay. But if it is anything else but those, again, I highly suggest you to share only your LinkedIn profile. So her next question is, should he be alarmed over this request? Actually, you should not, because as I mentioned, this is nothing new. Many companies nowadays do request to check out your social media handle. And even if they did not ask permission for it, they'll be able to Google you up. All right. Now, either they don't find you, which is not good either, or they found you in a way that is good, which is good, or they found you in a not so good situation, which is not good. Now, I've been saying this time and again, your brand, your personal brand is very, very important. You need to take care of this, because it will go with or without you. It will be designed by others and not by you. Therefore, your social media needs to be top notch, needs to be up there. And if you do not want others to have their prying eyes, looking around on your FB, lock it down. Lock it down. There are buttons for you to do that. All right. Not LinkedIn, we don't have anything like that, but your Instagram, your Twitter, your TikTok, for example, your Facebook, you do have some control over who actually will be able to take a look at the content. So there you go. I hope, Miss F, I have answered you. I do not be alarmed, but this is something that you have to manage carefully. All right. So So there you go. Question number one. Question number two. Question number two was sent to me by another young lady by the name of Miss E. All right, Miss E. Let me see. When the company who called, when the company who called for an interview had rescheduled the appointment without informing. By the time I arrived at the receptionist not only chided me for appearing on a wrong day, but also making fun of it. What would I do? What should I do? So that's the question. So basically, what this lady had experienced was this: the company had called her in for a face-to-face interview. Uh, she reconfirmed it, date, time, who to meet and all that. And she took a Grab that morning for the interview session and discovered that not only that the receptionist didn't know who she was, the receptionist took the phone and called up the interviewer, and the interviewer said, "Oops, I had forgotten that I had rescheduled the appointment and I had forgotten to tell her." That's quite a bummer. And the receptionist took a look at this lady and said that, "Well, it looks like, you got here on the wrong day," and she started making fun out of it. So that wasn't good. And she even, making some sarcastic remarks over certain things. So this Miss E was feeling uncomfortable, and she's wondering, what shall I do? And would this be some indication of more stuff? So, Miss E, here is my opinion to your question. I like to think that the way how a candidate is being treated, even way before you can hire and all that, and this is what we call candidate management. Candidate management is crucial for employer branding. So it's not just crucial to be managed by candidates, but this is more crucial, more so for employers or prospective employers to manage from end to end because this is management. And this is also part of the employer experience or employer branding. The point I'm making is that if your receptionist is not providing out that great experience to you. Can you imagine when this candidate has already been hired on board and it goes beyond the reception, it goes, to the hiring managers and the overall culture. So if the experience is not rosy and peachy, if there's something, doesn't feel quite right on set in the beginning, what else might go wrong, right? Now, I know this is not something that many people think about because they are looking for a job, they want the job, they need the job, and most likely that the role that they're applying for is in a company that they've been eyeing for a long time. It's a dream role, it's a dream company, and so most likely many people will tend to overlook all these little candidate experience. But mind you, if you had already been experiencing not so good experience even at the onset, even before you meet the interviewer, even before you meet your hiring managers, these are some red flags that you need to take note of, right? Very crucial. So therefore, Miss E, yes, to your question, this is one of the red flags that you should take note of, and you need to put down all of these experiences in your notes, and then you make comparison. You check out what else that they can, be done in order for service recovery, so to speak. All right, so jot it down so that you don't forget. Okay, so that's question two. Before I go on to question three, let me try to see what has been said here in the chat box. Thank you so much, guys, for listening out all of this. Now, let me see. Teeny Ezekiel. Okay, should my Instagram be closed off as usual or open it up for the public for job seekers? Good question. Chin, before I answer you, let me try to go back to Rizal's question. What industry is doing a lot of hiring these days and for what particular role? Okay, and apart from the normal pre-hiring courses, I think the people who are looking to really what our training would be beneficial for a person who is starting out their career. Okay, so Rizal, as usual, you think ahead of me and these questions are fantastic questions. Right. So, what industry is doing a lot of hiring these days? I suppose, based on my experience and the observation that I'm making, and the current trend right now, there are a lot of technology-based companies who are doing a lot of hiring. Right. So, technology-based simply because the market is moving towards such. Okay, and in terms of role, there are so many roles. Really, if you just look up some of the job portals, right, and the kind of hiring that they are doing in this particular space, technology space. There's so many. For example, there's data scientists. These are some of the newer roles, which is hot seats, right? There will be for example, data scientists, business analysts. However, having said that, moving from the technical recruitment, I am also seeing another trend, which is what you call that customer experience, for example, stakeholder engagement. That's very very hot, and the rising of vacancies or opportunities within the third sector. So what is third sector? This would cover charitable foundations, non-profit, and that space. Okay, so third industry, or at the third sector, I'm seeing some rise in terms of recruitment because there's just so many. And there's so many courses or initiatives that's running within the community right now, and they are looking out for people who have passion and interest to all of this. Yeah, so technology, IT, learning and development. Obviously, there is a cross board where I'm seeing at a high level, from head of learning, for example, HR is definitely is. But anything else apart from that, I'm seeing niche businesses or rather niche market in terms of mining because we are running short of talent or manpower within this particular industry. Agriculture, for example, is one area where you will notice there are continuous recruitment activities in these particular sectors. Mining, agriculture, what else? There are a few others that we just don't have enough talent within the industry to make it work. I know there is one particular new industry up and coming, and that is in drone. There's so many opportunities in the market for drone business, but we don't have enough talent, have the right skills. To So there you go. Oh, one more thing. I'm sorry, I almost forgot sustainability. Because a lot of companies nowadays are putting up or rather strengthening up their organization to be prepared in the event that they are talking to investors. Many investors nowadays would want to take a look at initiatives surrounding sustainability. So they are looking for talent with enough experience to manage initiatives in sustainability. I hope I have answered you, Rizal. And Keen had responded to Rizal by saying, I'm guessing software designer or IT. Yes, yes, true enough. True enough. Okay, so the next question, Rizal, that you asked me of, apart from the normal pre-hiring courses, if you recommend making personal branding, what type of training would be beneficial for person starting out their career? Okay, so basically you've covered more or less the prerequisite, right? Prerequisite training. I think the next one, the next type of training that would be beneficial for them for you who is about to start out their career is anything that's got to do with communication. Very, very important because communication is one of the key skills that one needs to have. So never mind that you go for training for personal branding. You type out, you post on your LinkedIn or your social media. You make connection, great connection behind the keyboard, which is okay, right? But other types of communication, for example, small talks, small talks, chit chat, right? Small talk, making that small talk, that will be very, very crucial. Presentation skills, for example, because there are many types of pre-interview assessment done nowadays, which I'm going to address right after this result. Yeah, so interview sessions are no longer just normal interview sessions, but there might be companies who would request you to present on how to solve certain case studies. Therefore, you need to know the use of PowerPoint, for example, a little bit say, Excel spreadsheet, that you need to showcase some data and how to present all of this in. So these are some of the prerequisite, I would say, newer skills. Actually, it has already been there for many, many years, but nowadays, because there are more candidates in the market, organizations need to be able to ahead of time, they need to do a little bit more of the pre-assessment before the candidates come on board to be interviewed by a panel of interviews. I have run quite a number of pre-interview assessments. For example, one activity that I actually personally love this is to run team dynamics assessment, where all these candidates, right, they will be pulled together, maybe about 20, 30. I've done up to about 50 participants who are vying for a few roles in this particular organization. So what they do is that we have designed in such a way that all these participants come into a room together for about half day, have fun, have makan-makan, get to know each other, but they need to be presenting certain solutions to several case studies, and they are being grouped together. So this is quite fun in a way to see, or rather to observe leadership style. If even they have, or are they good leaders, are they good followers, whether they have analytical skills, whether they have the right communication skills, for example. These are all can be observed through pre-assessment before they can put through into the process of actually sitting down and being prepped for. So there you go. Communication result, communication skills, what types of communication skills, presentation skills, a little bit of some technical skills, PowerPoint, Excel spreadsheet, and all that. That would be most beneficial for those who are starting out in their career. Actually, it's not just for those who are just starting out in their career. Even those who are already quite seasoned, this would be something useful for them. Okay. So that's my thought. All right, so moving on. Pila, hi, you're back. I see you again. Thank you so much. Again, you have always been supportive over our live chat. Thanks, Pila. Okay, so I am going back to Chin's question. Should my Instagram be closed off as usual or open it up for public or job seekers to see? Okay, so that's a let me try to understand your question. So you said that the Instagram, you're asking whether you should close or open it up for public for job seekers to see. So I'm not quite sure what role or what in terms of reference that you referring to your Instagram. Because if to me, basically it's simple. We do not want to have too many things on our head to think about or worry about. Okay, so as long as your Instagram is safe from any funky stuff, and the definition of funky stuff can be anything, ranging from being having too much fun over Saturday night to something political or religious or racism and anything like that. So as long as we are away from all of this, you don't have to worry so much about whether should you close it off or open it up and all that, unless you think that this is something just for you and your close circle of friends and family, because it's just so personal and it's entirely up to you on how you want to manage your social media. There's nothing wrong with it by just saying, you know what, I don't want anyone else to see it. It's just for me, my friends, and my family members, because I post too much pictures of my lunch and my breakfast and my cats and dogs and all that. And that's fine as well. It's entirely up to you. But having said that, to my mind, because we have so many things to think about in a day, there's the job itself that we're doing, our social media should Mr. A be able to look at my Facebook or my Instagram or TikTok? You know what? Too much trouble, too much trouble. Why are we putting ourselves into so much of this? So we just have to make that decision. You feel that it's just for you, friends and family, you close it out. Not a problem. Same thing with your Facebook. For example, my personal Facebook is locked down only for family and friends. And that also not many friends. I keep it in a circle where I know that these people won't get bored to look at my 23 cats, the food I cook, my trip, my long drive with George, for example. I know these people are pretty much okay with those. Okay, maybe not too much of that. I understand, and it is also for the benefit of me connecting with my family members who are all over the world. So I do have my purpose while I am on those social media, right? And so I only closed it for those group of people. Anyone else who's trying to connect with me or want to see what's happening inside my Facebook, unfortunately, it's closed for everyone else. So it's actually a decision. So I hope that I have answered your question. It is entirely up to you. And having said that, if we have quite a number of social media handles, and if there's nothing really funky and all that, it's entirely up to you. You don't really have to worry about either you'll be putting it or closing down for everyone. All right. Now, the next question that you asked is it beneficial to ask a question back right after they ask the first question? We will ask about tell me about yourself. Okay, I will ask how this look like. I like when you ask questions. And this is also crucial question. So your first question, is it okay to ask that question to your interviewer? The answer is, and this is something that I coach my coaches and prepping them for interview. Yes, it is possible. It is all right for you to ask questions. So just a little bit of a step back. Interview sessions nowadays is unlike 30 years ago. Okay, not even 30 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. All right. So interview session is no longer one way street where only the interviewer asks you questions. This is about finding alignment, right? So you have your interviewer who is representing the organization, or a panel of interviewers who are representing the organization itself, the department, the employee brand, etc., etc. And there you are, bringing your host of experiences, your wealth of experiences, your skills, the best of you to the table. And this is where negotiation starts. Negotiation starts. And it works both ways. It is also imperative for the uh, representatives of the organization to find whether you will have a job fit, you are the right person to come in into the organization and it works vice versa. You will also have to ask questions whether they fit into your agenda. See where this is going? It doesn't work just one way. Yes, I understand. As a candidate, you are looking for a job. Granted, you're not going there to play marbles, right? You're not you don't go in to play marbles. You are looking out for a place to grow, looking to develop yourself, and this is inwards, right? But you are also carrying the best of you, your wealth of experience, your skills, and all that to contribute to the organization. And you need to find a place where you don't really have to think about finding the right job, finding the next paycheck in the next many, many years. And that's the whole idea. You need to find that alignment. And yes, to your question, you can ask questions. Now, whether you can ask, how is the company culture like? My friend, the minute you ask this question, of course they'll say you all the right things. Oh yes, we have a great culture and all that. But the question is, it's not about how the company culture like. The real question you need to ask is, you need to relate to what that company culture means to you. If open and transparent communication is important to you, that would be kind of question. But don't ask, hey, do you guys practice open communication? Of course, they will say yes. So maybe, and I'm just giving you good tips, right? You may ask it this way. Encik Ahmad, maybe can I invite you to share with me um, a time where there was a crisis in the department? How did you handle that? Hmm. So instead of them asking you all these tough questions, it is also okay for you to ask them tough questions. Remember, we're looking for alignment. I hope I'm making sense to you too. And we have Andreas. Hello. So good to see you, Andreas. Thank you so much for dropping by. And okay. So hopefully I see. Okay. Right. So because it's a capital private sector, first. All right. Good. 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 Okay. So I hope I have answered Rizal's question. I hope I have answered his question. And anyone else who is looking out for some answers to the questions. So here are the so, okay, cool. All right, now let's try to move on to my third question, which was posed by all of the three questions asked by ladies. Question three by Miss S. So almost similar to what she was asking, or sorry, similar to the question that was asked by Risa. What would be the hardest interview question I should be prepared for? This is what the question from. This was the question something like this. What would be the hardest interview question I should be prepared for? Right on. All right. Now, hardest interview question. Actually, all the questions are hard questions. Either they are hard questions or tricky questions. One of the tricky questions that usually be asked of interviews is a very simple question. Um, okay, so that's one. But before I run down another list of set of questions, I just want to share with you guys the kind of things that not that for, right? So there are this year I've listed down quite a number of them. One would be behavioral questions. The questions sound like, what were the steps you followed to deliver that result? Okay, so that sounded like a behavioral question. The next question is one would be opinion opinion. The interview panel will be asking you questions and inviting you to share your opinion with you. Ask to answer whether you are pro or against a certain kind of topic or another opinion or a subject or a person, a coach, SOP, things like that. So opinion question is pretty much out there. You have practiced for many years. Um, this kind of question, the opinion question, is tricky because not many people understand why they're being asked this question. And the fear is always this. Should I say it this way? And would it offend anyone? And if I have offended anyone, the panel interviewer would I offer the job? That's always that fear, right? And the next question is performance-based question. It's also relevant to many candidates, performance-based questions. Oh, that's another type here. Brain teasers. This is kind of fun, right? Brain teasers, they give you some questions to answer. There's another type, which is what we call team dynamics assessment. I've shared with all of you earlier that I've done this before with quite a number of our clients. Team dynamics assessment where all these small groups of people, okay, they will be assessed in terms of a few metrics, which is communication, management, right. The next one would be executing very difficult disease. Very interesting in terms of getting some rest. Uh, one of one of the questions that might fall into this verification question will sound like, what were your responsibilities in that position? Sounds simple, yeah, sounds simple. However, when you are nervous, you really want the job and you set the company, you can more than it. So experience verification is important. Kind of question is asked candidates because um, it will attempt to verify kind of hope as well as experience that you have in one. The other type of question would be this is one of my favorites, okay, case question. This is interesting because it just kind of caught you off guard. One particular question that I've experienced this together with another client. I was preparing the candidate for the interview session. And one of the questions that was asked after the next week was this. So basically, the background story is this. He was applying for a business development role in this particular organization. Uh, one of the key things that he's supposed to do is to visit. Right, so we know all of this based on the job description that we shared. Now, one of the key questions that was asked after was, how many 24-hour stores are there in Sementara PJ, Rambut, in Kuala Lumpur, in Sentul, etc. How many 24-hour stores? So if you are a person who have no desire or never stepped into any 24-hour store, not even in Sementara, for example, or so therefore, depending on the job description, depending on your past experience, this will give you some indication to prep yourself for such kind of questions. All right, because being a business development in that kind of industry and the kind of job scope that has been defined by the JD, this might be a question that you might be asked. So come prepared for it, and this type of question, which is case question, might pop up in your interview. All right. Now, last but not least, there's so many more, but I'm going to just raise up this one particular question, interview question. Yeah, it's called nonsense questions. What is nonsense question? Well, basically, they are nonsense questions. And again, this kind of questions will caught you off guard because it's so nonsense. Right? So how nonsense? Pretty much nonsense. For example, they will say if you were a carrot and being put into a blender, what kind of speed would you like the blender to be? What? 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 Sorry, guys. I have no answer to that. I am still learning on how best to answer that kind of nonsense question. Like, here's the thing. Nonsense questions sound nonsense, but actually what they are trying to determine is whether you can think on your feet, how creative you are, and most likely with nonsense questions, you need to answer them with nonsense answers. Not in any script. Not. So there you go. I hope that I have um, answered the question posed by Ms. about the hardest difficult question. So, just to recap what I have, what I've been trying to address here is that there's no one hard question. There are so many hard questions. But the best thing is that you need to be prepped for this. You need to be prepared. You need to be prepped. You need to be prepared for questions. And what are the one thing you need to have before you be prepped or before you prep is understanding the role. Understanding the role, very, very important. How do you understand about a certain role is research for the organization. There's a lot of work that goes into what you want to do. Um, your meet your okay. So I hope I have answered your questions there. Now, okay, Asma. Asma, what's your question here? Okay. My internet here in hometown is pretty bad. Asma, my dear, where are you right now? Where is hometown? Um, would there be any recording that I can watch? Yes, of course. This particular live stream is available on three channels. One is here on LinkedIn Live. The other uh, is the stream live in YouTube, which is I will be able to share later on. All right, in terms of the link. And the other one, this is stream live to Facebook as well. This is under Bracket Fire Corporate Solutions uh, Facebook page. So it will be there for quite a bit, for a few weeks. You will be able to come back and live stream. It's free recorded. You will be able to watch and go. So there you go. Any other questions? I'll be very happy to answer them for you guys and so on. And do drop me a DM if you have anything else to ask. But before I wrap up my session today, thank you again for those who have stopped by. We really appreciate and I hope to see any of you or all of you to come and join me in my two masterclass session, which is on 18th and 19th April, which will be held in 4 points Chinatown KL. First masterclass will be on mastering job search strategy, highly recommended for those of you who are on the job market. And number two, mastering tools and skills to build in your job search. Especially I think in topics such as preparation, how to win in your salary and all that. So basically, the kind of knowledge that you need to have before you walk into you. Okay, so there you go, 18 and 19 April. With that, all of you for this day. I hope to see all of you again. next Monday, same time if you have questions that you want to know for you next Monday. Do so by dropping me at the end or email me at info@dragonfire.com.ny info@dragonfire.com.ny, and I'll be very happy to answer. That's what the questions that I have. There you go, guys. Thank you again.